Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Denver, Colorado. And what I have for you today is a fun, fast card project. So let's just get started. Okay, so here is the card I have for you today. Isn't that just bright and cheery? And on the inside is, besides a dimensional back, a little part of a flower here. And you could put more sentiment in this if you chose to, but I wanted to keep it pretty simple. This is using, let me tell you the pieces that I have first. I have a card base of Whisper White 8.5 by 5.5 scored and folded at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of real red cardstock that is 4 by 5 1/4, and then I have another piece of Whisper White that is just slightly smaller than the 4 by 5 1/4. This piece is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, so that this can still be rimmed in the red. Okay, so, and then the designer series paper that I'm using is Silhouette designer series paper. And let me just open this package up so I can show you this absolutely stunningly beautiful paper. It's big and bold and it's just gorgeous. This is the piece that's, here, let me just pull this out. So this pattern here, which is a honeycomb kind of pattern, and then this, it almost looks like brusho kind of a background, or the sprinkles, the new sprinkles that we have. This one is a little bit of a chevron brick pattern, and then look at that. Just as crazy as it can be with plum purples and blues and all kinds of colors. Then there's this pattern that is this giant leaf pattern, and it's got another one of these swirly, amorphous kinds of colors on the back. Very pretty. This is the flower pattern that we are using. Isn't that just beautiful? Big and bold and beautiful paper here. And on the back side of that, look at that red-orange swirl. Just gorgeous. You have to figure out what to do with that. This one has kind of this swirl pattern in blues and pale blues and white, and then this darker blue pattern on the back. You can see how some of these might go together to make something pretty dramatic. This one has kind of a, oh, it's I don't know what that is, kind of a coral color. And then it's got these little arched patterns. They almost look like the peacock feathers. Anyway, so those are the colors in here, just as bold and beautiful as they can be. And again, it's called See a Silhouette Designer Series paper, and it's part of a bundle. Let's see if I can tell you what that is. Let's see. On page 132, here it is. So there's a bundle here. There's this stamp set with these cute little silhouette characters and a tree, and then there is a die set that has this tree limb here, and it's got some words on it, and then the paper, and there is a crinkled seam binding ribbon in crushed curry, really pretty, and there is some sparkle emboss powder that was new this year, and it's sparkle clear or white. It says shimmer white and shimmer black, so sparkle black. That'll be fun to play with. So that is the suite here, and there is a bundle here of dies and stamp sets that goes with this. But these flowers just captured my imagination, and this is a real easy card. What I did was I took some of the paper here and I just cut out some of the flowers. Now, there's a lot of flowers kind of around the rim, and I'm thinking that this one might work really well on the inside of our card. So I'm going to snip this one loose here and just cut that out. You can see because it's got such big bold patterns, it's pretty much nothing to cut out. Just cut around here, and the white rim is enormous, so you can get quite a bit. But using it this way will allow you to use those little pieces that are along the end. And in fact, on this card, this one was an end piece, and I just put the little red flower over the top of it, so you could hide one that you'd pick up from the corner here. Then, so I have cut out 3 of the folders, and here's one of mine that is kind of on an edge, so that one will go in the center with these flowers going around it. So we'll be able to use that piece. Now we've got one cut for the inside, and then I took this paper here, this big bold beautiful leaf pattern, and I'm going to cut one more set of leaves, and I think I'll just cut this one that's right here on the edge. And again, really simple to cut out. And I left some of the blue showing on some of the leaves, and you could add that lighter blue. This could have been rimmed in Night of Navy for this, you know, depending on what colors you have in your flowers. It'd be real easy to pick some bright, bold primary colors here on the back side. You could rim it in old olive because of the leaves. So there we go. Now, what I did on this is, let me make sure that this one, no, this has to be cut down. So I'm going to grab my trimmer here and cut this piece down. I need it to be, I pre-cut some of these so I have some handy, but this one's going to need to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 so that it can go and be on this piece of red here and give us that little red rim around the outside. And I think we can just go ahead and adhere this one to the card front here. Again, I'm into very fast cards, very simple and very easy right now. And so Stampin' Up! Has been trying to, especially for newer stampers, to put projects out there that have that are what they're calling simple stamping, and they really have. In this case, this one is just paper, stamp, and ink. So pretty darn easy to put together. All right, there's that one. Now what we're going to need to do is get some dimensionals and get our flowers up on dimensionals. And let's see how we might arrange this on this card front here. Maybe put the red one over here, or not. Almost like I did here. If the red one went like that, the blue could go down that way, then this yellow one could come up here, and we can disguise that that one is just an end there. And then a couple of leaves here, and our sentiment a little further down the page, here or over here, depending on how this gets put together. I think that works. So I'm going to start with this one because it needs to be kind of in the middle, and I can always cover up the top of that end with a little bit of this leaf here. So this is the first one to go down, so I'm going to just put some dimensionals on the back here in a couple of spots and get that one placed with this beautiful paper that's out. There's just so much that you can do that's pretty darn easy and fast. And this, I think, is stunningly beautiful. All right, so if we put, and I think I want to put my yellow flower down here, which means that this leaf is going to go right in here and cover up that one end. So I need to put snail on this side of my leaf. And I need to put a dimensional on this side of my leaf. And let me put that in place just like that. Okay, now this yellow flower will go right down here. So I need snail on the upper part of this one here and dimensionals more along the bottom. If my flower goes right in here, that's very pretty. And let's see, this red one can come, let's see, we need it to be up a little bit so that we can fit our sentiment right down here. In fact, maybe I'll just go ahead and stamp that sentiment so we know right where we're putting it. And let's see, I have my red ink pad here and my happy birthday, and this stamp comes from this set. It's called Here's a Card, and I really like this set because it has just sentiments that can be used for anything. It says, congratulations, I made you a card because you're worth it. You made my day. Thank you for being my friend. Thanks. Happy birthday. And isn't that a nice font? Words can't express the deep sorrow felt on your behalf. Hello there. It's all messy. The hair, the house, the heart, life. I love that. May your heart find peace, the peace that it needs. I can't begin to count all the times we've laughed together. And then up here it says, mostly because numbers are hard. I'm here if you need me on that. So thank you. Thanks on that thing you did. I'd give you a standing ovation, but here's a card instead. And so it's just got so many sentiments, so versatile. I can just tell I'm going to use that one over and over. I just put that down on my surface. I don't want to get that ink all over. So I'm going to use my red ink, and I'm going to put my happy birthday right down here in this corner. There we go. Happy birthday. Now we have a perfect place to put our flower, and it looks like I need snail on this half, and I need a couple of dimensionals on this end. So then we can put this one in place, and this card is practically done very fast. Okay, so if I put that in place right about there, it just fills up that whole piece. It's wonderful. And if I tuck these leaves right in here, I think I need to just trim this down a little bit here. And I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on these leaves so everything on the card front is raised except the sentiment. And that's a little unusual for us, but it works with this card. So here we go. I'm going to stick this one back behind in here and set those leaves down. Isn't that just pretty? So I'm going to close up my ink, and I have a couple of rhinestones. I cut out a few extra leaves in case I needed them, and we may want to have that for the inside of our card here in just a minute. So on this I'm going to add some rhinestones, and I'm going to put little bigger ones on here just because this is such big bold pattern, and I'm going to put 3 just like that, and then we're going to attach this to the front of our card base. And here's my card base. So I'm going to center this one on here and put that into place. There we go. Isn't that just pretty? Now on the inside, I had cut that piece out. I have to just find it again here. What did I do with it? There it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, and since it's kind of oriented this way, I think I'm going to put it in there, and maybe I'll just use these two leaves to fill in this top part on the flowers here. And because this is on the inside and I don't want it to have any dimension, I'm just going to use snail on the back of this to put it in place. And I'm going to put lots of snail at the top here, and then I'm going to attach my leaves right here, and then use this last one that I cut out and put that right behind here to kind of fill that up. And we're going to attach that right here to the inside of our card. I'll add a little bit of snail to the back of that leaf so it sits down a little bit. And there we go. That is the project for the day. Isn't that fun that it could be that fast and yet that bold and remarkable? I just love it. So this is the project for the day. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator, and or you could join my team. Right now there's a very good deal going with Stampin' Up! $155 worth of product for $99 to join, and then the following month you get a $10 coupon to use towards your first or your next order. And then the special runs from July through the end of August. And what's really cool about joining now is your commitment to stay a demonstrator is $300 a quarter. Now you start out with a 20% discount, so that's about $80 a month. And then if you start in July, because the quarter's already started, your first minimum of the $300 or the $240, $80 a month, isn't due until the end of the year. It takes you all the way through December 31st. So a wonderful time to join Stampin' Up! My prize draw for the month is your choice of one of the big bundles, and all you have to do to be in the drawing is put an order on my website, www.lbedinger.stampinup.net, or you can get to it from my blog, www.inkingenuity.com. Thanks again for stopping by, and I'll be back soon with more cards, more projects, and more tips. Bye.